choices you made, did you make them again?
You just walk right out the door. Don't wanna do this anymore. Now I'm lost without you. You drive me crazy out my mind. How'd you do this every time? Now I'm lost without you. Used to be the one I talk to when I'm sad. Can't you see now tainted love is all we have? Our issues run so deep, now when I try to sleep I feel so bad. I should leave, and by the time it's done I'll be gone. So distant when you're home, always hanging by your phone. Do I even know you? And I get paranoid sometimes, 'cause I know that you're in mine, and I'm lost without you. Used to be the one I talk to when I'm sad. Can't you see now tainted love is all we have? Our issues run so deep, now when I try to sleep I feel so bad. I should leave, and by the time it's done I'll be
is over, when you say you're feeling lonely, if you ever need a shoulder, you know where to find me. Stop chasing all the city lights, breathe me in, go on and take your bite, count on me to make you come alive. You know where to find me tonight. You know where to find me tonight. Find me tonight. When you feel the world is over, when you say you're feeling lonely, if you ever need a shoulder, you know where to find me. Stop chasing all the city lights, breathe me in, go on and take your bite, count on me to make you come alive. You know where to find me tonight. You know where to find me tonight. Find me tonight.
Hey, I'm Danielle. I'm a cosplayer, streamer, AV tech, and a massive Destiny fan. I'm going to check out how Destiny 2 runs on the Nitro 5. Look at this. Look, bring the camera in. Look at this. This is running Destiny at highest. It's still hitting 60 frames per second. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. I don't believe it. I cannot fathom that this thing has that much grunt in such a tiny form factor. And there's so much going on the screen at the same time, like particle effects and stuff, and I can barely hear the fans too. If I had headphones on while I was gaming, you wouldn't even hear it. I like this thing. Can I take this? Will you guys mind if I take this? Like actually, hold on. Is this plugged in? This, wait, smooth, get away. It's fine.
And welcome back to the 2022 Australian Esports University League for Rainbow Six Siege. This is week 2 of season 2. I'm here, spudoom, with my friend Commandante, and we are here to bring you another exciting matchup for tonight. How are you feeling, Com?
Not too great for myself, but I am very excited for tonight. My spirits have been enlightened back at it again, casting, and tonight we have a great match coming along. But of course, first with the sponsor reads.
Of course, we need to thank our sponsors, Predator, AOC, and Rig. The AEUL is sponsored by Predator, the gaming PC partner, AOC Monitors, the monitor partner, and RIG, the headset partner. None of this would be possible without them, so of course, a big shout out and thank you to them. But let's just talk about briefly, I think, the map bans. We have some pretty interesting maps coming up here tonight, don't we, Com?
Indeed, we do. Although
I believe it is Villa and Clubhouse. Okay, Clubhouse is a staple. Everyone knows it. But Villa, yeah, quite an interesting map, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I think seen a lot of changes over the years with how it's played. I mean, it was defender-sided for ages, and now it's attacker-sided. Of course, I believe the new operator Sens will be available to play this season, and I think with Villa, with the tight hallways, etc., I think he'll have great utility to actually cover off those long angles on the site. I think he'll have great impact play if teams are able to use them well, and of course, I think Villa's just fun in my opinion. So
yeah. It is a fun map. It's quite a broad map as well, lots of space to cover, and that can work for attackers and defenders as well. Attackers have a lot of room to cover, and it's a little bit more space to maneuver. You don't have to worry about being contested at every point. But for defenders, you also get a lot of space to roam as well. Of course, the whole basement is pretty much the Wild West of the Siege map. You can do whatever you want. No rules apply down there. It's just all either run in and die, or you run out and get a spawn kill or something ridiculous.
Or it's the cheeky nook coming in below.
Exactly.
Everyone expects it though.
Yeah, so I bet we will see that come out today in this map. Of course, we do have USYD playing against AUE University of two teams. Both teams have veterans here who have been playing for a significant amount of time. USYD Chest as well, always just missing out on playoffs. So this time, hopefully they get a chance to do that well. But yeah, looking now at our operator bans, I'm going to start off with a Thatcher ban coming out from AUE Black. Nothing too fancy.
And probably a Jackal ban, or they might even ban the new operator if they're not used to scrimming against them. But of course, Jackal ban, fair play. Villa's a pretty big map, definitely good for roamers.
Yeah, this of course does leave the Finker on board, and I've always been an advocate of the Finker ban, especially in this meta. So yeah, that is an option available. Lots of utility denial to go out. Valkyrie, the next ban coming out from AUE Black, again another standard ban. I would expect maybe a Mira and a Zami perhaps, if being okay. That caught me off guard. Azami is really strong, mind you, but a smoke ban, the amount of utility you remove and the amount of denial you remove, that's really big. And I think it's definitely a target ban here at someone on AUE Black, though I'm not too sure who it is.
Oh, your least favorite operator's on the board here.
Oh, no.
Damn picking it straight out in first round. Well, I don't know. I'm hoping that they are going to be peeling back Finker's strengths in the next patch, of course. But in the current patch, of course, we'll just have to deal with her again. And maybe after this map, the teams will learn that maybe it's better off not having her.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
So fairly standard choice of maps here, choice of operators here on the defense. Standard reinforcements. They are not going to be leaving the triple open slightly, so they're not going to have an extended hold.
Yeah, with that smoke removed off the board, yeah, I just want to see who takes that place in that position. Usually you see the smoke being played at triple, you've got the shield down there, you open up into closet and you put all the smokes down there to deny the jump in. But now that that's been removed off the board, and especially, yeah, I want to see who takes up that mantle. I do expect the Wamai there with the utility denial will be holding on to that position. But for now, USYD seem to be content not challenging directly all the way at the start. They will be pushing over from this fountain side, starting from the study and sweeping across the map.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a good logical push to do so. Easily take the map control that defenders will have to slowly fall back on. But of course, we have the healing stations here, which is going to be fairly dangerous. Oh no, not the healing station, sorry, but he's going to have a roaming defender who might get caught off here, so he's going to have to fall back now. All the drones trying to sweep him out as they slowly come into the study room area, and Finka and Sledge are below to take the bottom main entrance as the drones go out. But of course, no one's quite following the drones. A little bit concerning here, as I've always said throughout these games. It's always important to take the map control with actual operators, as drones are not the greatest substitute, as Aruni is preparing for maybe picking out a 90 rappel up, but fortunately she falls back and neither sides exchange any gunfire. And USYD just taking their time, which is completely fair to see. They're taking a very methodical approach, which is really nice. And of course, first pick coming out by Falcon. Really great pick. Aruni not actually being covered by any of his teammates. Bit of friendly fire coming in from the Finka, but that was a really good first pick.
Yeah, quickly traded out though by this by the Wamai, who did catch out Falcon playing a little too aggressively. But overall, not too bad. Though you could argue that perhaps the trade worked out a little bit more in favor of AUE Black. After all, they took out the frag grenades, they took out the Gon 6, and they took out a really, really potent entry operator. Whereas for the Thunderbird, a lot of that utility has already been placed down. Crimson Wolf next to fall, though, and that's another operator off the board. Player advantage back in the favor of UC Chess, but a poor flank watch, and Alexa manages to find two. This changes around now as UC now on the player disadvantage.
Yeah, especially losing the Thatcher as well, so now the ace can't actually open up the triple anymore. So it's all up to potentially ascend by the Finka, but no, Alexa, nice play there on the Astro stairs, taking him out in bathroom, but it's all up to Damp left in this 1v2 situation. The Hollow, but unfortunately, gets peeked from the other side. Great pick by the Frost, taking him out on the flank there.
Yeah, just unfortunate there. I think a flank watch was very much lackluster there. Alexa able just to walk up the red stairs and then take one and then two players out without any recourse from USYD. So definitely that's something they should aim to be looking out for in the future. Definitely didn't have the Jackal to help with that, but the drone work, you have Gridlock and Nomad available to work with. But that will put a pause to our relatively short first round, as we do have some tech issues we need to sort out. But yeah, apart from that, I think a good showing from both sides. Although, yeah, the flank watch definitely was where I would pick at for use of chess attack.
Yep, but they had a good first play there. It's only the first round, still really early in the season, of course. So there's lots of improvements to be made, especially through the coming weeks, and also, of course, through this this series between USYD and Adelaide. So we're just gonna have to see how it goes from there. Maybe they will be able to improve their drone work. Drone work, especially on Villa, I think is probably one of the main importances. They had a good start there, where they did take out the initial Thunderbird, but of course they lost the pick, and the Kaid with the huge flank taking out two players, which ended USYD's push.
Yeah, as we mentioned, this is a really large map, so you do need to be really aware of where these flanks are coming from, and it seems that usually we're just caught a little bit off guard. Though, as we mentioned, it is still early in the game, it's early in the season, so we can't really draw too many conclusions from the first round, and it does make it a little bit unfortunate for us, as we now have to waffle on while we wait for this tech issue to be sorted. But just a brief look back at last week's results as well for those two teams. UC Chest had a bye, so they didn't actually play, and AUE Black lost 0-2 to the Swinquisition from Swinburne University. And yeah, Swinburne University is rated at seed number 4 and AUE Black is seed number 5. So given the relatively close, rankings, I would have expected a little bit better from AUE Black perhaps. But, again, as you mentioned, early games, early season, still a lot of improvement to be found, I suppose, for all these teams. So with that, I guess we will probably head to a very short break. I hope these players' computers have SSDs in them, and we'll be back shortly.
I just can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us. I've been stuck on your memory, but it's not like I need it. And we may have some history, but we don't have to repeat it. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I'm gonna burn all the bridges between us. sure. I couldn't agree that we were meant to be, but our love is what they talk about in movies. Our love is what they talk about, what they talk about. Yeah, we were wild and free, and you know everything about me. So wild and free, and you know everything about me. You know everything about, you know everything about me. You know everything about, you know everything about me. You know everything about, you know everything about me.
And welcome back from our quick, short tech break. And we have sorted out all the issues. We are ready to get right back into it. For those of you who are just joining us, we are, of course, on Villa, where USYD has take on AUE Black for the first out of this best of two. And so far, what are your thoughts on the one round we've seen?
USYD got in there pretty quickly, got the first pick, but then traded out. And then Kaid, the roamer, came up from behind red stairs and took out two, and it shut down USYD for that round. So great play by Adelaide, of course, and USYD better watch their flanks if they want to get a successful attack off.
Yeah, moving on to the AVG site now, the usual primary site, but of course, still a very strong site is Trophy and Statuary. So yeah, good for throwing opponents off a little bit. We do see the addition of the Mirror here. Of course, she has been allowed to go through here. So I expect a lot of difficulty pushing from that study side. And from this trophy side as well, I think that second mirror might have been placed. They will be pushing, however, from this bathroom, sweeping across from that west side. So you said doing this horizontal take, which is quite common. The question is, of course, how they deal with this player entrenched in a statue, especially if there's a mirror window there to deal with.
Yeah, I like this cheeky setup there. And, I believe we did see a Go box being placed up in that walk-in area, so maybe it got tripped before. But now they're just going to be setting it up. Flash is coming out, hoping to push in here. But as you said, mirror is in a the mirror placement is in a very awkward position for the attackers. But a nice frag grenade coming up by Dam, taking out the Malusi. And now Shanks is going to be pushing up Astro Stress, with the Thinker coming up. And Damp with the second, going for a double on Crimson. Wonderful play from him. Got all the angles lined up, of course. And now this is going to be a free take. Damp getting a third off. This man is currently unstoppable on your least favorite operator.
Yeah, with Astro being freed up, it did allow the rest of USYD Chess to push up there, and that of course created a lot of distraction for AUE Black. They had to worry about the extra angles that were being pushed. Of course, they really should have just worried about Damp, another frag grenade, another kill, and that's 3 out of 5 players from AUE Black already having been felled with no trade back. This, of course, means for AUE Black now holding onto the site is going to be very, very difficult. They just simply don't have the player count to do it. And unless they hit some really insane shots like Falcon just did, USYD Chess can just get the info and then play for trades, and they're not really going to be too worried whatsoever.
Oh, good try there by Lexa. Managed to get one frag out, and does trade the final kill, but it's just not enough. All of USYD just flooding onto site. Really great play there by Damp with the 3k, and I think AUE is going to have to bring on an anti-utility operator such as Wamai or Jaeger to just give them some protection, hopefully against Finker's nades.
Yeah, of course, playing that mirror window gives a strong indication that there's going to be someone behind it, and that, of course, is going to be a quite literal magnet for explosive utility. And yeah, the lack of utility now could very much have cost them. Of course, USYD Chess could simply choose to bypass this by going underneath, using that depth charge, fragging them from beneath. That mirror window is on a soft position, so the difference is that it takes a lot more time having to clear out underneath first, as opposed to just pushing straight across. So we'll see how USYD AUE Black adapt to this, or if they don't, they've chosen to do the exact same things. This time, however, they have swapped out the Goyo with the Melusi to hopefully give a little bit more information, slow down the push from USYD Chess, which, mind you, was actually very, very fast last time.
Yeah, definitely. It might be interesting if they did not actually have anyone behind the mirror as a bit of a bait. Because once again, there's a hole right there. There could be a cheeky frag that pops right through. It's not going to look too pretty for whoever stands behind there. The bandit batteries are not going to do anything to stop that frag grenade. I definitely would have preferred to see a Jaeger or Wamai. But we're just going to see if Damp or if Falcon will get lucky with a frag grenade as they come up to contest bedroom once again with this classic push coming out. They're going to be going through. I wonder if it will land this time. Oh, and it does. I think that mirror needs to learn her lesson now. And Biometric picking up a second kill as well. Wonderful opening from USYD Chest.
It's the same frag grenade in the same position, and they fell for it a second time. Like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Surely they would have learnt by now. And with, again, that Astro position being cleared now, they have free reign pretty much of this entire side. I suppose they have figured things out a little bit better. They've committed one less player there, so they will be able to keep their lives for a little bit longer. And Whiskey actually will be the one to try and challenge this by going for a long roam underneath through the basement to the red stairs. I thought he was going to go for a C4, but he is out. But again, as we mentioned last time, the flank was where USYD Chess kind of fell apart. So they will have to maintain their wits and make sure that Whiskey doesn't get that opportunity to hit them from red stairs.
Yep, and I think USYD are just going to starting to play slowly. I expect they might rotate some players off onto study so they can counter from both sides. And we see Damp here at the main entrance, so he's going to be preparing to come up the stairs, potentially with someone holding on the study window as well, as the other side, or the opposite side where they've taken half the map already, are just going to slowly get in there. But Biometric, gets tagged slightly by Alexa. He's trying to stop him entering, but Damp with the LMG sprays down Wixie, and now it's just 2v5 on the site now, and they have to play a bit passively because they have lost a lot of map control. There's not too many options for them, for the defenders left, so they're either going to have to push together or just try and hold the choke points and try and pick them off one by one. And now it's just going to have to be methodical drone work coming out from USYD with 30 seconds left. There's not much they can do. Sledge with the diffuser going down, and behind the vault default, and good cover there by Falcon taking out Alexa, and now it's all up to Crimson to try and take one back, but no, Biometric gets the final kill.
I was going to say we're very much in the same position against a 2v5, except the difference is this time the cover was there. They didn't just kind of bum rush it. Instead, they went for the smart play. They went for the plant behind the vault wall, and as they tried to peek that planter, obviously Falcon was there to pick up the kill. So definitely usage has showing they have indeed, contrary to AUE Black, learnt from that previous round. They took what was a great round and made it even better. They've made a flawless round there, a plant and a kill, and a second round there for USYD Chest.
Yeah, very lovely play by USYD. Just really good methodical taking out of the defenders that extended
Attackers
there.
need to locate
I
and
think their
defuse
drone work
bombs.
has improved much better with the actual player taking map control. So Adelaide's just falling a bit short there to try and counter them. But fortunately for them now, having gone through a full 3-round rotation, they can now be back onto trophy statue where they'd won before. So things might pan out differently, but I'm sure USYD would have learned by now how best or like important angles and flanks to watch out for. So let's see if they've actually learned that in this next round.
10 seconds remaining.
Of course, AUE Black need a round here to kind of even things back out. If they lose this one as well, then even their primary site, the strongest site they had, that's going to be taken off the board, and that spells that's worrying, you know, if you are AUE Black or one of the many viewers, I'm sure, who are supporting them. So AUE Black, for them, a critical round here to make sure they can still at least hold on to an even setting for this defensive half, whereas for USYD Chess, they hope to learn from the mistakes of their previous attack and do better and take this site.
And Falcon now going to be preparing, opening up the walls into Bar and Aviator, trying to get some lines of sight onto the defender. That's just being a bit cheeky. But Wixie, he's kind of in a bit of a stuck position now, but good thing he's moving quickly before that gets open, so now he has an exit option. If he was involved, of course, he would have been stuck between the two angles created. And he is supported by the Frost on 90 side, but he is driven out slightly by the Sledge, I believe. But no, great play there. Shutting down the fragging star so far, and Wixie gets a second onto Falcon. So that's 2 drop dead in this failed push onto the study side by USYD, having not even entered the building this time. Very, very strong pressure coming out. Flash to disorientate him with a Nitro in return. Now going to go for the flank there by Biometric. Great roundabout play there, taking him out from the study window.
Yeah, really like how AUE Black is challenging USYD for every inch of the map. They won't even let them get in the door without a fight, and that's a fight the AUE Black have won so far. That's 2 for 1 so far, and you've taken out the Sophia and the Finker. That's a lot of utility. The heals all gone, the frag grenades, 2 LMGs gone. For a Capcan who has already put down all his traps, so really AUE Black definitely getting the better end of the stick for this challenge. With a minute left now, it's up to USYD Chess to pick up the pace, whereas AUE Black, they're free to simply sit back, no, maybe relax even a little bit, and wait for the push to come in.
Yep, so now they're just going to have to play a little bit safe here. 40 seconds left. Defenders have all the time in the world to get them to come in, and Biometric gets taken to half health, having to rush through, and so does Admios. And now the Hibana gets taken down. It's just a scurry onto site, but there's just no options. All the sightlines have not been cleared, and now it's just all up to the Dockerv to try and get through, but just so much pressure from all the remaining defenders. All the sightlines on everywhere on the site, none of it droned out or cleared. So pretty much a free win there for Adelaide, having taken out or done the hard work earlier in the round, taking out the two initial pushes from Study.
Yeah, this is quite different to what we saw coming out from USYD Chest in the second and third rounds on their AVG attacks, where they were able to get the 2 early picks for very, very little cost at all. This time, the coin flip the other way. AUE Black able to find those 2 opening picks, waste a lot of time and utility and take out the entries, and then ultimately stall that USYD chest coming into the tail end of the round. So, moral of the story here, perhaps, is that those opening picks are really, really crucial. Whoever gets the opening picks tends to get
Attackers need to
yeah,
locate
tends
and
to
defuse
get
the
those
bomb before they can.
tends to get the round. Sorry. Back to AVG now. The secondary start here for AUE Black. USYD Chess now have a chance to kind of repeat, make a hat trick of their takes, but I think AUE Black will have figured things out by now. Surely they won't have anyone playing the same mirror window. They have removed it,
10
replaced
seconds
it
left
with
before
a
insertion.
warden. Warden there, of course, equipped with that shotgun, not the 1.5 MPX. Okay, still a great gun. And we'll be able to deny some of the flashbangs that come in, the flashbangs that nobody is carrying, except for perhaps the smoke grenade from Admios, can be very useful in that late round, denying that plant.
Yeah, I think they've given up on the mirror. I think in the different ways that they have held compared to study and bedroom, having the mirror there was just a bit too easy for the defenders, I guess. It's sort of a common position you'd expect them to play. But with both reinforcements on study, you know, like the attackers actually have to waste utility to open up the sightlines. On the triple setup, normally you have the sightline free for the attackers to actually use. But at least they have the Rooney there to defend against one flash or frag grenade. But Crimson will have to be careful, but Falcon gets picked off by Wigsy early into the round. Very great play, and he's managed to survive with a slither of health. The refrag does not come in, and he's just going to make it out, taking 2 drone kills in addition.
Yeah, those Kona stations are going to mean he's going to be healed back up to full health, so the impact from those kills, from that damage, will be pretty much nullified. And that's big for AUE Black. Being able to get the first pick, as we've mentioned, is usually the name of the game here. And with that, Yana off the board and still being able to hold on to a lot of map territory with half of the round remaining, this is a really good position for USYD. Sorry, for AUE.
Oh, but now Biometric coming up. Does take one with him, but interesting how he managed to get in. The defenders did fall off quite soon after getting an initial pick there, which I guess is good to see. They've already wasted all the time they need with only 1 minute left, and now they have to be taking the other half of the map. Down with the frag grenade cooked, chucks it out. It's not going to catch the Melusi, who drops off. But now 90 has been taken. Admios gets tagged slightly, but the finger charge comes out to regain some of that lost health, and now Ace is going to be ready to open the vault single. And great play there by Dan, going to be taking out from the long sideline, and he's going to be watching the flank there that has previously been flanked up before by the defenders. Drone going to be ready to that covered, and now they will have to execute this final push, but they only have 30 seconds left, all grouped up on the vault. They have to be careful, and now a free pick by Wigsy. Biometric gets the refrag, and he is pushed onto site here, but the site has not been fully droned out, so it's going to be very difficult for USYD to safely take this round.
Looks for the peak, but unfortunately Biometric is faster. He does find that last player, and another round for USYD. Having said that, though, it was pretty close, at least much closer, I believe, for AUE Black. They did have Whiskey, of course, chilling out in that vault, playing that close angle, and Damp, unfortunately, caught unaware. Props to Biometric, of course, getting that trade and making sure that Damp didn't go unavenged. And so ultimately, bringing it down to a 3v1 in that situation, yeah, usually you favor the 3 over the 1. USYD Chess 3 rounds up now.
Yeah, great recovery there by USYD. They did lose the initial by Wigsy, and UAE maybe played a little bit too safe. They did fall back a bit early, but I think maybe it was still the right call. But I think they're going to be giving up now on the Aviator Games hold, having not won any of the 3 rounds so far on them, instead opting for the downstairs kitchen hold this time. So it's going to shake things up a bit on how how USYD is going to push the site. They're going to have to be careful of the nitros coming up from underneath, especially with the pulse on the board. They have a Melusi, though they have only Melusi impacts, but the Thunderbird and the Mute as well both have additional nitros to back him up with.
10 seconds to insertion.
Yeah, for Aviator games, I feel like the lack of utility to Nile, especially for catching grenades, really hampered AUE Black's defense. A lot of kills we saw coming out from grenades onto critical positions, like there's players behind mirror windows. Things like that, I feel, was what led to their failure to perhaps hold on to AVG, as well as they held on to Trophy and Stat. They've done it twice already, and both very, very definitively. It's just puzzling, perhaps, to me that they haven't been able to replicate that success on the primary site.
And now the attackers have spawned in. They're going to be looking for a study take this time, just to flush out the top floor first. I think gaining top floor control is really important, especially Shanks is on the sledge, so there's a lot of ability for him to do a lot of damage from above. But it's really important not to lose him, of course, but no, not quite the drone work that we wanted to see. And Wigsy gets the free pick onto Shanks with no support from any of his teammates. And he's just going to come back to side. Absolutely free kill for him, as the rest of Shanks' teammates are instead up above, not able to actually do anything to get the refrag, of course. Losing that early pick is definitely going to hurt them.
Yeah, of course, USYD just able to pull it back last time, even after the first pick. And again, from the same player, Whiskey playing very aggressively as that early roamer, doing some early damage and playing it quite well, falling back afterwards, not sticking around. And now he's done his job, he's done the damage, and he can fall back. However, Aegis will see his head taken off, gets up at just the inopportune moment. And now that player count is even back out.
Yep, lovely play here by USYD. They've now taken the initial important areas, but Alexa, for some reason, comes up, kind of whiffs a little bit into a 1v3 position as well. And I'm not sure if she actually ended up using the Nitro as well. Both Nitros have been lost, only the Pulse with the Nitro left on their team to utilize. And I believe it just went off, not quite finding anyone. Bit of a lost opportunity, but Thunderbird is still with the Nitro. But this is good from USYD, but 45 seconds left. They definitely have to drone everyone out, get everyone ready for this push that's about to drop on them.
With one more Nitro available in the hands of Whiskey, will have to be paired with that vertical intel from Nopon to perhaps do some damage. Fortunately, will not be able to find any. The drop shot almost kills Whiskey, but he will manage to get away with his life. Admios, however, finds one. Whiskey with a quick trade, but a grenade for two. That's 2 rounds is all that AUE Black is going to find here on the defense. USYD 4 and 2.
Man, Damp is the Pokemon master so far. I believe he's got 4 frag grenade kills to his name in the 6th rounds now. But USYD Chest are looking strong in a 4-2 lead on Villa, and now going to be switching up onto the defense. And let's just see what first site they're going to pick first. Maybe they will be able to show AUE Black how it's done in holding Aviator games.
Yeah, a little more traditional pick of the first site. Aviator games is what we usually see. But for AUE Black, I gotta say, their trophy stat hold worked out really, really well. Both times they went onto that, they were able to succeed. So props to them, although that will be the only rounds, unfortunately, they managed to gain there. Of course, this isn't all over yet. AUE Black now go on the attack, and as we always know, in the second half, it's still part of the game. So we'll have to see how this all pans out for USYD and AUE Black. As we go into quick tech rehost, somebody has some skins on, naughty. Yeah, thoughts on that half so far though, Colin?
5 seconds left.
Definitely exhilarating to see. Once again, Villa is still attacker-sided as we see here. USYD very strong start, 4-2. I mean, on the rounds that Adelaide did win, which was Trophy, I think they won pretty convincingly in each of them. And definitely there were some close matches there especially with the time ticking down for USYD, it could have gone either way on at least one or two of those rounds. So I think both teams have done really well so far, trying to fight tooth and nail for these. Yeah, so congratulations to both teams so far. We're just going to have to see if Adelaide are able to make the attacker-sided work in their favor, as they're now on the attack.
Yeah, as you mentioned, just the amount of utility available for attackers right now means it does favor them quite heavily. The LMGs, as we always talk about, really, really great at just taking out anybody. And of course, the frag grenades, everyone has frag grenades nowadays. So UC definitely made the most of that. But yeah, for 4-2-1/2 for AUE Black, that's not that bad, especially considering how the meta is at the moment. I guess it's just a matter of how AUE Black take advantage of those same tools. We did see a lack of utility denial on their part on the defense. So does that perhaps foreshadow a lack of grenade utility being used by them? And so perhaps they're just like, oh, well, it's not really that big a deal. Guess we'll have to find
Well,
out.
I
Yeah,
think
I
it's
mean,
definitely a big deal if Damp is
yes.
able to pick up that many nade kills, and I believe Falcon also got one as well. So I think
Yeah.
they definitely are going to utilize it. They're probably going to bring out the Finker and the Yana as well, who had the nades. And maybe USYD are going to be smart and respond with a Jaeger or a Wamai or even both to try and reduce the chances of getting caught by one.
Yeah, of course. The use of grenades now is very, very liberal. Everyone just throws them all the time. So yeah, again, it just puzzled me a little bit that there was a lack of utility denial in play from the defense. That might just be a thing for this map, of course. This map, I believe, was chosen by USYD as well. So maybe once we get onto AUE's map choice, which is Clubhouse, we'll see a little bit more solidified setups coming out from them. And of course, on Clubhouse, you do need the Jaegers, you do need the Wamais holding positions like Blue Tunnel, holding your rafters, holding your jacuzzi walls, things like that. So I definitely expect them to be bringing it out there. But for now, I guess we'll have to wait. We still have the second half of Villa to play out, and it will have to play out after this quick break now as we wait for a tech. Oh, no, don't need to go to break. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're just waiting for the last player. But yeah, how about predictions? What are your thoughts on the coming half?
Predictions. I think it's dangerous for us to give any predictions, but
Yes.
I do think USYD are gonna show that maybe a Jaeger or a Wamai is gonna be important on the board. Not too sure what Adelaide can show for us so far. I haven't seen any of the attacks come in, and of course maybe they're not as familiar with Villa, seeing as it is not their map pick. But they're on the attack now. They've got all the chances to prove that they deserve to be seeded as number 5 in this season of the AEL R6.
Yeah, UC Chest is seated at number 12, so a number of places lower compared to AUE. So would expect AUE to be able to catch up a little bit. I certainly see a 4-2-1/2 being possible here, and we go into a 6-6 overtime. But yeah, just in general, the feeling I'm getting is that USYD is a little bit more in control here compared to AUE Black. That is, of course, on the rounds that they have won. UC Chess definitely still showing some signs of weaknesses that have been exploited very well. Well, while we're still waiting, of course, we want to shout out our sponsors once again, thanking them for making all of this possible. In particular, shout out to Predator, conquer new worlds with Predator Gaming today. Predator are the gaming PC partner of the AEL. Conquer new worlds with Predator Gaming. Predator puts power and precision in your hands. Elevate your gaming experience in every way with quality and performance, thanks to Predator. So yeah, if these players are playing on a Predator PC, that's how they're winning, right? USYD must have Predator PCs. That's why they're winning.
Yeah, that's right. First. I wonder what potato that Adelaide are running down there.
Yeah, Shanks so many tech issues, guys.
Shanks' team just equipped out with the latest Predator.
Yeah, but yeah, I could certainly see USYD still being able to take this without regulation. In regulation time. But AUE Black, I think, certainly still have a lot to show us. and I don't think it's quite over yet. So overtime is more than likely. I think it's fairly likely, but there is still a chance that USYD can extend their current lead, and it's up to AUE now on the back foot, 2 rounds down, to play the catch up. And of course, you never really want to be in a position like that. You want to be nice and comfortably ahead, just kind of chill and do your thing instead of having to worry about that round count.
Yeah, but I mean, we've seen so many times where the 4-2 just pulls back the other way for the losing faction. So of course, USYD definitely can't be too comfortable now that they're sitting on the defense there. And you mean, as we keep saying, it can always go either way. Can be overtime. USYD might be able to win, or Adelaide can be win. We're just gonna have to see. As I said, made good drone work from Adelaide. Hopefully, they're gonna take the key positions. Don't lose too much utility or the important entry fraggers. Get on side in a quick, timely manner, and just win, as every ideal round of Siege should go. But of
Yes.
course, everything's far from ideal in this game.
Yes, nothing ever goes according to plan. If you've ever played Siege, you would know that that is pretty much the story of Siege. The moment you look away, you get picked, so that's how it is. I do want to highlight, though, that AUE Black chose to ban the Smoke. I actually got the bans mixed up, and they, I believe, are targeting Shanks, who is quite a proficient Smoke player. And of course, you do have a lot of really powerful Smoke spots to play on Villa on the defense. I'm thinking top main. I'm thinking from behind the shield stacked up on the maps in Aviator, and then you can deny, of course, the Vault default plant. You've got the triple wall and trophy statuary. A lot of these power positions with that shotgun and the smoke canister is really, really important. So I want to see how USYD adapt to this, what alternatives they bring to deny some of that planting. Tachanka maybe might be in play here. I would be really keen to see a Tachanka. Yeah, of course, there's still Echo, Goyo is still available, but nothing is quite like the Smoke. So, we'll find out how it goes.
Yeah, Smoke just has too much utility with him. Got the shotgun, got a decent secondary, and 3 smokes they can chuck from on obscure angles as long as he's got the sideline open for him. So yeah, unlucky for Shanks, I guess. It would be great to see the Lord back at it on Villa. And this rehost is taking a bit longer than we're expecting.
Yeah, I'm starting to run out of things to say now, but yeah, I guess we're just waiting for our last players to join. Maybe someone has another tech issue. I wouldn't be surprised here. But yeah, Observer, can you please tell us if we can go to our break, please? No, he's gone too. All right, I guess he's sorting things out. Yeah. So, well, yeah. Clubhouse. How do you think Clubhouse is going to play out compared to what we've seen so far on Villa?
Well, I would say I think Clubhouse is slightly more exciting because it actually is more often they use all 3 floors, unlike Villa, which is just a 2-floor and basement sort of just in there. Bit of a niche play if you do end up having taking gunfight down there. But Clubhouse, the 2 main stairs control is very important, and there's lots of hatches. So the vertical options are much more. I think they're much more free on Clubhouse compared to Villa. But there are tighter areas to move through. I think it's not as forgiving when you don't take specific objectives, such as opening up the exterior cache wall. If you can't open that, it makes pushing up really hard. If you can't take garage rafters, for example. But I think it's still a good map. Of course, a Rainbow Six Classic map. So it's just going to be good to see whether Adelaide will have a much more enjoyable time for their first half on the map that they picked.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. I completely agree with you that it's a classic and it's a lot USYD will be attacking first on that map, on a notoriously defender-sided map. So that will be one to watch. But we'll have to look at their defense first now as they go back onto Aviator Games. This is round 7, so the first round after the half switch. USYD starting off on the defense now, while AUE Black have 2 rounds to catch up on the attack.
And Age's going to be picking up the Finker on for his team. Capital coming out from Crimson, so the Jaeger's not going to be too useful to stop his bolts going through. Maybe a bit of a counterplay there, and of course the asphyxiation bolts are always nice to flush out any of the defenders in a bit of a tough position to clear out. So that might not be as useful as you expected, but fairly classic operators coming out from both sides here. Maestro pick coming out, which is really nice to see, paired with an alibi. They've got the shield on the pool table as well, so maybe get some cheeky plays with the alibi mimic. Could be an option as well. And they've got actually a fair bit of drone denial. They have the mute and the mozzie coming out as well. So we can sort of see a bit of a different setup here compared to how Adelaide like to play their map. USYD here, I think, playing for some more control with how the intel is going to be gathered from both teams. Additional camps for them and denying additional camps for the enemy.
Yeah, I would expect to see Admios on the roam as well, supported by Damp. After all, he has put his utility down. So, yeah, I expect they're going to be making a lot of use of this map, given that they do have that information denial to stop the attackers from locating them, and as you mentioned, it's a very big map to work with. However, AE Black seem content on just pushing straight towards the site. They're going to jump on this study bound window and start holding 90 as well with that upside down rappel. Biometric actually in a very dangerous position. If he gets peeked from the upside down rappel, he could go down very easily. Alexa, however, will be the first to find one onto Shanks, and he's actually got the plant down. All the defenders have been debated. They have just been sitting completely offside. And now it's a post-plant scenario.
That was totally unexpected. Great nade attempt there, but Biometric did get quite taken out, but he does fall eventually. Amazing rush play here, as you said before, and now Damp is in tricky position, does get one, but the flaming bolt coming out from Capital is just a huge nuisance for him. Pistol coming out, takes down Crimson. That's a 1v2 post-plant situation, but the attackers are using the shield against him. The whole site is now not his. Damp is in a very awkward position for this retake. Has to take the long angles here. Got 2 attackers to worry about. Tries to stick the diffuser, but this is simply no time left, and Aegis finishes him off.
Very, very well read there from AUE Black. They saw the setup that was going on the other side of the map. They saw how much was being dedicated there, and they said, well, let's just ignore all that, bypass it completely, and just go straight in from study. And it worked like a charm. USYD caught completely reeling, and with that shield in play, usually being used to keep attackers out, it was now something flipped on its head, and USYD actually did struggle quite a bit to get back on the site. And so with that, AUE Black, the 2-round deficit we mentioned, easy peasy, 1 out of the way already, 4 and 3 now, as USYD choose to go to a different site on Trophy Statuary.
Yeah, definitely amazing read by Adelaide. I really like this because USYD have always attacked from the bedroom side. So they maybe have dedicated too much because they're just expecting that Adelaide's going to play exactly like how USYD was playing on this push. But no, completely opposite of what they wanted. Instead, they just stack it onto study, which USYD had not done previously. So they might not be too used to it since they're not playing by USYD's rules, which is a bit unfortunate for them. But they're just going to switch it up slightly in his army coming out. And now the Damp is going to switch from the Jaeger to the Wamai. So the Wamai is now going to be able to stop the Capital bolts. So that might be something in response to that.
5 seconds remaining.
Castle as well to deny some of these angles, especially out of the closet from this Astro window, along with the frost mat plays in the bathroom. This is all very reminiscent of a typical triple wall open setup where you have that shield, you play behind the shield and challenge the closet. So yeah, very much what I would be expecting to see. But For AUE Black, perhaps this is another chance for them to bypass it completely. They're going to go from a different part of the map. Just not worry about it at all.
Yeah, sort of really different attack philosophies here. Adelaide just going to be very aggressive, just push directly onto site. They're not going to care what sort of setup is going to be happening on the opposite side of the map. And I think USYD might have a bit of a lot of trouble trying to respond to that, because they're probably expecting fairly standard optimized takes off the site, but Adelaide is going to play completely differently. Sophia going to be opening up, taking Astro window control, spraying blindly into various sightlines, but it's not going to be able to find anything. Would like to see a bit of drone work coming out, of course, but Shanks does get taken down by Wigsy. And Falcon taken to half in response, and they are actually taking study. My apologies, and Wigsy gets another one onto Falcon. So this is great play here, taking map control on the opposite side, as well as pushing onto site.
Drop the bomb diffuser.
And we see here, as Aegis pushes onto site, he forces those defenders to rotate back onto site. And of course, that is where they get, like right there, they get caught on the return. And with that, a very, very dominant attacking round as well from AUE Black. And suddenly they're 4-4 even again. They are once again evenly matched. And, you know, I said USYD chess attacks did seem very much they were in control. But from what we've seen over these two rounds, AUE Black, their attacking is perfection.
Yep, definitely. They didn't like my comment about them proving that they're fifth seed, and so demonstrated that they are deserving of that spot. Bending it back 2 rounds fairly easily on the attack, showing that Villa is quite strongly attacker-sided. And USYD are just going to have to respond somehow. I'm not really sure. I think they're maybe not quite winning the gunfights on the extended holds there. AUE just much better at flanking around, probably with the intel and drone work. So USYD just have to play off each other, try and make it work somehow. But really same setup as they did have in the first round of their defender half. So let's hope that they are able to respond quickly to how AUE Black changes their attack setup.
5 seconds left.
USYD just need to find some way of responding, because so far they just have not been able to put a dent into AUE Black's attack. They might get a pick here or there. Actually, I don't know if... I think they got a pick last round. 1 pick over those 2 rounds. AUE Black just ripping through the defense of USYD. Really need to find something to counter this aggression.
Oh no, and Alexa picks up the first pick onto Biometric. Early pick into the round is not what we want to see, as Falcon is taking 90 control here. Opening up the sideline with his LMG on the Finko. He can definitely afford the bullets. So it's really nice to see. He's just taking that line of sight there onto the angle, just putting pressure onto Shanks, who's trying to play in the bar area. He has to be careful not to peek up his head, or he risks getting it taken out. But now 4 people stacked up into study, ready to push in there. Nade's coming up, flushing off the shield on the top main stairs there as Wigsy sends it right in. Gonna take the long control, opening up for 90 control potentially by the Finko. But they don't actually, they just need to get the hard breach of the ace into position here. But Admios, good frag onto Crimson, and gets taken down really low is Noplin. Wigsy gets taken down, all the trades going from everywhere. This attack is sort of falling apart for Adelaide. This is what we want to see by USYD, trying to pull back the 2 lost defense rounds so far.
Yeah, really like the use of that shield there to provide extra cover and information there from Admios. Definitely were punished AUE Black for that. And with that, the rush has been blunted. Aegis is the last one alive. He's got 4 players left to find. Does get tagged up a little bit, but he does also does a bit of damage out to USYD chest. I was going to say, I wanted to comment on AUE Black. I really like the use of that 90 window and crossing that angle, the soft wall into bar, and stopping whoever's behind bar from peeking out onto study. But of course, Admios was there behind the shield to get that trade, and ultimately, now it's up to Aegis all by himself. Can he find 4? He's got 40 seconds, 10 seconds each. he could probably do it.
But first, he also is looking to recover that diffuser potentially, and he can't quite decide where he wants to attack from. So he's going to have to make that decision pretty quick.
25
And
seconds now.
he's ready.
Oh, 25 seconds now, heading into the final seconds of this round. Almost gets a shot. I'm not sure if he thought he landed that shot, but he will find one onto Shanks for sure. A second onto Admios. Now it's a 2v1. Suddenly the odds are looking much, much better now. He goes for that plant. Is the deny in play? Gets off the plant, but there is no one around. Will be forced to stick it, and it will be Falcon finally who shuts down Aegis' reign of terror.
Yeah, beautiful defense by USYD. They're definitely going to need that win so far. But AUE, they weren't too shabby on that attack. They just didn't quite have the refraggers in place to get the roam because they had a really good push in. Frag grenades taking out the shield on top main, flushing anyone there, and then now pushing down main stairs. But they weren't quite coordinated on the refrag there. As whoever was coming down main stairs did not have someone covering from main entrance quite at the same time. Tad slow there. But overall, I think still strong play there by AUE, and USYD just coming out on top for this time.
Yeah, USYD seem to have gotten used to the shock and awe factor that AUE are bringing here and have figured out a way to counter that. They're placing their utility well, they're using the shield to really good advantage. That shield in Aviator, of course, I think was the crucial part there. Had it not been for that shield, that round definitely would have gone towards AUE Black. So AUE Black, though, they, as you mentioned, did do pretty well. It was pretty close, and they could certainly get away with it again. It's just one or two minor adjustments. As you mentioned, being able to get those refrags, and certainly they could take a round back and even it out once again.
5 seconds left.
Yep, but USYD just gonna take the lead now after evening it back out. An interesting sort of hold there. I believe they only had the single wall open in the middle of trophy triple, so we're just gonna have to reconfirm that. But Damp is on the roam, looking for any defenders, attackers I mean. And yeah, we can see here Azami is going to be playing this triple wall, so she is going to be able to fill up the gaps if she is no longer able to hold it safely. Aegis going to be coming down from laundry, no one on the hatch drop ready to take him out, and he has got the nade with the drone confirmation ping. And let's see if he does pick out Azami. Azami gets taken down to a quarter of HP, but she does manage to survive. So she's just going to pull back a little bit, and she's still alive to close off any of the sight lines that she is trying to contest.
One player is also downstairs, could catch Aegis unawares as he's looking for this vertical angle. But yeah, a lot of angles he has to worry about now, and does have the drone to help him out. Coming out red stairs now is going to look to pinch out Damp, I believe, and Falcon is holding in that vault. First of all, will be Falcon. Whiskey finds that opening. He's been the opening killer for so many rounds. I always see his name there, and he's doing that entry role very well.
Yeah, but now Aegis actually playing in such an aggressive position. I'm surprised he's managed to push up uncontested so far. It does get taken down to half as Alexis trying to push into bathroom. But wonderful pick. Aegis just walks right onto side. Mouse one with his LMG. Doesn't need to reload. Azami, very interesting placement there. Does stop him the charge. Damp gets to double onto Aegis and onto Crimson. Beautiful defense there coming out. And Wixie, Alexa, and Noplum left. And Damp is just going to have to make this work somehow because the trades overall have not gone in his favor. But he does pick off one more, and now it's a 1v2 situation with his Shanks down on so far.
Yeah, gonna have to listen for that call, but unfortunately that tight angle being held by Noplum will be the end of Admios. He did manage to find three, in fact. He got the planter, he got the cover, and he got the player, the sledge. Sorry, I think the sledge. No, sorry, the Yana. Yes, the Yana as well, but unfortunately not enough time and not enough information to really go around for that flank or anything. He had to push straight into the waiting arms of Noplum for another round for AUE Black.
Yeah, this is just such a close game between the two teams here. USYD going up by one, but quickly caught up by AUE Black. So only 2 more rounds to go, and if either of them lose
Defenders, protect your bombs from
the
being
round, they're
defused
just
by
definitely going to
attackers.
have to come into overtime. So we're just going to have to see, and it definitely can go either way now, but fairly similar setup here by AUE Black so far, as this setup has really worked in their favor, and they've got the sledge ready there for the vertical plays that's going to happen. Cheeky mute drone, classic, cheeky mute jammer, classic in the bathtub, but of course it leaves a slight gap there that attacker drones can easily go past in. Bit of a change of setup here. A lot of nitros being dedicated. 3 in fact on Shanks, Admios and Damp, but they don't have the pulse to back up for a confirmed kill. But nevertheless, they have a definitely strong vertical play and opportunities in
Attackers
this
are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
If the AUE Black, they will be looking to challenge this vertical via that sledge. I'm sorry, not sledge. Fuck. A lot of openings that can be made there to really force the defenders out of their position. You know, forcing defenders out of their position is good, but what you can also do is just jump right in. Not going to work out for Crimson Wolf though. He does get taken out, and that's an unfortunate loss there. But well, Risky and Aegis and Alexa are still alive, so you're probably still okay.
Yeah, a bit of an unfortunate pick there. I'm not sure why Capital was so confident to run in like that. Especially losing a lot of utility there, because his smokes and his firebolts would have been really helpful to close off the gap, maybe cut the sight line in half as they push in. Aegis gonna get tagged slightly from above as he tries to contest Astro. Gonna have the nade cooked and ready, but just maybe trying to bait the defenders back a bit. But it seems that the defenders have been quite smart to vacate the top floor, having lost 2 members already. 3v4 not quite in their favor. But what is this? Biometric a bit caught out there. Like a lost there out on the road as Aegis takes him out. Bit of a free pick there. Buck is working his way on the ceiling. Does he realize a close player there?
Oh no.
Oh no. Shanks slightly whiffs that as Aegis finds the head. And what is that? Attackers just won. Beautiful play there by Adelaide. Fairly messy all over the place, but still somewhat systematic and taking the important areas of control.
Yeah, Aegis with that finger boost was able to survive the shotgun blast, and with a quick flick, dispatch Shanks there, leaving it in a 1v multiple. I don't even remember how many because there were a lot of people still alive. Frag grenade flushed last player out and then run straight into the raiding crosshairs. Yeah, GG, go next, right? Easy peasy. For USYD though, it does seem they are struggling a little bit with the aggression that AUE Black is bringing. AUE Black very content just to send Aegis and Alexa and Whiskey, just, you know, brute force straight through those defenders. And USYD just don't seem to have the crossfires and the refrags available to them to stop AUE Black and punish them for just taking those head-on fights. So USYD have got to figure out soon, right? They've got one more round here to bring it into overtime. Otherwise, AUE Black will be going into their own map pick with a 1-0 advantage.
Yeah, this is not looking as good as it did when the round switched over for USYD. I think Adelaide in that previous round, they were just able to win the gunfights despite losing the Capital so early. Maybe they didn't hold top floor quite as long as they wanted. But Finka, of course, just rampaging through, just tearing it up, creating confusion everywhere. She was downstairs, upstairs, very active in where the Finka wanted to be, making her presence known. So now USYD is sort of a do and die situation. It is match point for Adelaide. They're going to be coming up to the same site before, which I believe they won once before and lost the other time. Correct me if I'm wrong, Lance. But fairly similar setup, using the Alibi and Maestro, of course. And the Maestro Cam 1 setup was on the 90 there to deny, or at least to have surveillance on the long side. Okay.
Once again, a split push coming out. One side pushing from Study to put immediate pressure onto site, force those defenders back. And Aegis, of course, pushing in over from that trophy. Oh, sorry, from the master bedroom side. Though it does look like he is still on that Study window. Most of the focus here is indeed on the Study side of the map. And that means that Admios and Damp having to rotate back from that roam will face a little bit of trouble.
Yep, and Age is going to be playing downstairs. He might be looking to play some vertical here, tries to guess where the defender is, but doesn't quite find him. But now that player there has been alerted. Someone is downstairs. Barbed wire going to make a lot of noise as he breaks it with the drone following in front of him. Good droning. Oh no, that was the Mozzie drone, my apologies. So I guess Aegis might have got droned out as Admios takes him out. Beautiful play, Admios sneaking up behind him in fact. And a lot of defenders actually dedicated to downstairs. Maybe if AUE Black realizes this, they'd be able to rush site, which really only has one person in it, which is from Bolt. And Crimson has actually managed to get on site somehow, plants the smoke down, and is ready to get the planting in default. Falcon gets the pick onto Alexa, but no, Nitro, beautiful there, Admios shutting him down.
Yeah, this suddenly turns things around. 1v5 now with the diffuser off site. Whiskey now hoping to get a free pick, maybe even things out, but Falcon not looking too keen to challenge that. In fact, yeah, this is good positioning, good patience there from USYD Chess, just waiting for that information, making sure they don't give anything away. And if they don't, it really does look like we will be going to overtime with that really good play of utility there from USYD. They had the flank come out from the bottom floor. They had the C4 come out to deny the default plant. And then after that, you know, the diffuser's up over Narnia. Whiskey's all by himself. He's just baiting for kills now. You know, it's all over. So, well done there from USYD. And, yeah, a flawless round there to finish it off.
Yeah, Falcon just waiting for the nade to cook. Just comes in, taking out the Iana. I think great response there. Playing the vertical really helped out in favor of USYD because AUE weren't able to quite take control of it. I think it was initially down there with the frag grenades, but as she pushed up red stairs, she was shut down. And 3 defenders down below. Great play by Admios to deny that plant, despite what seemed like a strong site take control by Crimson. But he didn't have the backup that he needed to pull off the plant.
Yeah, really like how they've adapted to the aggression that AUE Black are bringing, but I certainly expect AUE Black will be able to, you know, learn from that as well. They'll probably dedicate a little bit more onto that vertical clear, and of course they could always just you know, plant somewhere else. So it seems like, yeah, adaptations from both sides, the Ying being brought out for a little bit more explosive entry, whereas USYD Chess have chosen to go the other way. They brought out actually the Echo here to get a bit more information and then the denial at the plant stage.
A bit unfortunate coming into overtime that USYD didn't get the attack side that they probably would have preferred on this map. But that's not to say that they're definitely going to lose, of course. They still have plenty of opportunities to pull it back. But AUE are definitely going to be happy sitting on attack, which they have been pretty good so far to bring the score back in their favor. A lot of intel gathering and intel denying opportunities coming out from USYD's operators, and as you said, adding the Echo and replacing it with the Maestro, I believe. And still fairly same setup by AUE, but with the Ying now, they might indeed go for a quick send in, knowing that previously that quite a few defenders were on the vertical or down below, so they might have the numbers to actually just push onto site as early as possible.
Aegis as well looking for this cutoff of the players rotating back from that roam. He's got the square window open all the way out to Wolf and top red. He will in fact catch the feet of Dap. That is really unfortunate. I've fallen for that as well. But with that, attackers are now another player up. It isn't too bad though. They still have a lot of utility to work with. Echo still alive, but certainly you don't want to be losing those opening picks.
Yeah, at least they only lost the Jaeger who just had to put down utility. But now the Ying canister going to be coming out with the smokes nades as well. Aegis gets the pick, Wigsy gets the frag in, Crimson gets the default plant down, and now they've got the sightlines locked down and they have to go for a retake opportunity. Shanks gets a repick onto Alexa, but is that enough as he pushes into study where there are 2 defenders waiting for him? His partner gets taken down by Wigsy, and it's all up to Shanks to try and close this out, but no. Wigsy just spraying it down that long hallway and does manage to find the pick. Beautiful execution there by Adelaide University. They had the people in the right areas, good sideline control from behind, of course, from the Finca, and then just got to dump all the utility, smokes, candelas, frag grenades, and get the plant down and default with their teammates to cover, of course.
Yeah, we mentioned the frag grenades did seem to punish AUE Black on their defense, and it certainly has punished USYD Chest on that round as well. We saw all the ADSs being placed, well, 2 of them at least, being placed on the red stairs, which is where you can place a player holding onto that. But with AUE's Black's attack, they just chose to bypass it entirely. There wasn't any grenade denial available to them on the site, and that meant 2 free picks for little to no risk from AUE Black. Of course, the loss of the Echo Drone compounded those issues. They weren't able to deny the plant, and from there, it was a very, very difficult post plant that, I'm not surprised they lost.
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds to insertion.
We though now have to head back onto defense. They need also to win this round, and so far we've seen defense has been the struggling point for both these teams. Granted though, AUE Black do have the fact that they did win Trophy and Stat both times they played it, and in pretty convincing fashion, so that's going to bide well for AUE Black. Attack is now starting to come in from the study side, as we've seen them do, but they haven't really gotten very far into the building yet, and usually it takes them quite an amount of time to actually make much progress.
Yeah, and Finca just preparing to take 90 control as they got to drone out Wigsy and Notplimps soon enough, as they are playing this extended hold, playing off each other. And Finca only the one alone in the push there, but now surely he's going to be backed up, but Notplim playing very tightly with that mute shotgun. Going to be covering Wigsy, who goes for a daring escape outside, leaving the mute by himself there, as Damp is going to push into By now, preparing to flush out the defender still. Biometric gets the pick onto Notplim. Great play there, got to be evening out as Falcon was taken down earlier. But still a fairly slow push as Damp pushes into Vault. But Wigsy's got to be around the corner. Very beautiful play there. Downs him instead. No one on the 90 control for some reason. Probably the Finca was tasked with that previously. All the defenders busy droning. So free pick there, but Biometric. Wonderful refragger. Gets the pick back. So it's still anyone's game with half the time remaining.
In terms of utility, though, Damp being taken out is a really huge loss. If we compare that to how long AUE Black, on the other hand, managed to keep their Finca alive, get the most value out of that with all the health boosts, all the grenades, yeah, it really is quite a stark difference. Maybe this intel coming out from Dakaibi will be a little bit of extra help as well, but for now, yeah, they have to worry about that red flank as well, and then they still got to execute. 1 minute left.
Yep, great pick there by Admios, shutting down Alexa. Nade gonna be coming out to close off the Aruni gates with frag grenades removing the shield. So they're gonna have to execute, but I'm not sure if they quite droned out everything, as Aegis is gonna try and contest, but Shanks shuts him down. They're now all pouring onto site in a 1v3 situation. Crimson has to try and stop the plant, but unfortunately the half wall is just gonna stop him picking up, but he's got to play for an aggressive lunge all the way into Astro, but they do have the sidelines locked down. Beautiful counterplay there by both attackers looking long. Bit of a crawl opportunity by Biometric, hugging the floor as he got around the corner, slithering like a snake, taking out the Aruni.
I'm kind of mad that worked. Like, I'll be honest, that's kind of stupid, but props to him for making it work. And
I think it was good suppressive fire, Lance, from USYD.
Absolutely, absolutely. It was all according to plan. That is how we play this game. Speaking of this game, 7-7. Max overtime. We said we'd get to overtime. I didn't think we'd get to max overtime. And now, USYD, unfortunately, have the short end of the stick here. They have defense, and as we've mentioned, defense usually is not the successful side for, well, either team here.
But I am excited that at least USYD are gonna go out with a bang. They're gonna be
Defenders, protect
picking
your
up
bombs from
the
being
Lord
defused by
Tachanka on Admios, so it's gonna be great. Maybe they might try to let them take games. I mean Aviator, which the attackers have poured onto quite so often. But with the Tachanka, they will be able to deny the vault plan, for example, and deny it the entire site really. And they have a couple nitros to play with as well. So just gonna have to see how this works out for them. Pre-placed nitro there by Biometric. I believe that's right. Is that default plan or is that into
That is
study?
default plan.
That is default plan indeed.
insertion.
So we're just gonna see how that works out for them.
5
I am
seconds left.
excited, Lance. What do you think will happen? Will the Tachanka be able to have any
Attackers are
use,
heading
or
out
will he
to
get
defuse a
picked
bomb.
off first?
I don't know. I'm not sure how I rate them going back to this site again and again, given that the results have been, well, fairly mixed, to be fair. But maybe perhaps looking at their result on other sites, well, they haven't won Trophy Stat. Oh, at all. And same with Kitchen Dining. So I suppose Aviator Games is the only site they've won, and they've won it twice on defense. So, yeah, look. I suppose we all just remember that rush where they just went in and planted, which was, you know, very, very cool. So,
Yep, definitely. Our monkey brain only want to see well factors, and instead a smoke grenade gets wasted, gonna be pulled up. But that's alright, they want their frags to land or connect with any enemies. Yana Drone gonna be going out, scouting ahead for Crimson. Just worried his sightline might actually block them, but Biometric gets tagged slightly involved as the beeping happens. He is gonna get peeked there by the Wamai. Unfortunately, does not get tagged out slightly, so it's just some chip damage coming out so far. But he does have the LMG to spray and pray, of course, as the attackers are wasting a lot of utility. Oh, beautiful play by Tachanka through the wall. Damp pushes and takes out Noplin. The diffuser dropped in a fairly awkward position. So far, great opening round here for USYD.
what they do have to worry about Aegis pushing up the red stairs here. Also, this Wolf window could be a big player here. But fortunately, he is not able to get those trades in position. Oh, quick trade there. The C4 will be the closer, but Crimson Wolf finds his way into site, gets a diffuser as well. Will he be able to get the kill? Goes for the plant. Is this the time for the C4? Oh no, he actually gets away with it. I don't know what happened to C4. I think it just disappeared.
Oh, you don't need the
Oh my
C4. Never
goodness,
mind.
no!
Oh, that shotgun was not quite what he wanted, but Shanks has a C4. He hears the C4. He's going to run out of the way. The solid brick wall does protect Crimson, and unfortunately the Nitro is no more for them. 1v1 situation. 40 seconds left, plenty of time. And Shanks, unfortunately, not actually on the smoke. That is his favorite, so he is going to have to play this quite slowly, as Crimson is going to safely get it down behind the wall. Oh no, and Crimson is able to tag him out with the HP advantage and the gun advantage, having far more bullets than Shanks' SMG. And honestly, that was a really closely fought game. Props to both teams, but AUE just pulling it out in that final clutch round.
Yeah, again, very, very close. Well played from both teams, and of course it went all the way down to a 1v1. And that's where it ended indeed for USYD as they go down 7-8 now, unfortunately on their own map pick. But really, really well played there from AUE Black. They fought really, really hard all the way down from that 4-2 split. And now they finally made it all the way to 1 round up. That, of course, means that they do head into their map with an advantage. And if they, of course, take that, they will secure all the points for themselves. Whereas a 1-1 would give USYD a tie at least. So we will be back to see how that pans out shortly after this break, so don't go anywhere.
I just can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us. I can't focus, I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head. I just need to clear my head. I've been stuck on your memory, but it's not like I need it. And we may have some history, but we don't have to repeat it. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I'm gonna burn all the bridges between us. I can't focus, I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head. 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 I just need to. I just need to clear my head. I just need to. I just need to clear my head. I just need to. I just need to clear my head. I just need to. I just need to clear my head. Can't focus, I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately.
Hey, I'm Where's Danielle. I'm a cosplayer, streamer, AV tech, and a massive Destiny fan. I'm gonna check out how Destiny 2 runs on the Nitro 5. Look at this, look, bring the camera in, look at this. This is running Destiny at highest. It's still hitting 60 frames per second. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. I don't believe it. I cannot fathom that this thing has that much grunt in such a tiny form factor. And there's so much going on the screen at the same time, like particle effects and stuff. And I can barely hear the fans too. If I had headphones on while I was gaming, you wouldn't even hear it. I like this thing. Can I take this? Will you guys mind if I take this? Like actually, hold on. Is this plugged in? This way, smooth, get away. It's fine.
Hello and welcome back to Game 2 of Week 2 of Season 2 of the AEL University League R6. Of course, for those who missed it, we just saw a banger of a match between USYD Chest and AUE Black. AUE Black able to take out the win 8-7 on Villa, which was USYD's map pick, of course. So now we, of course, go to our second map, Clubhouse, where we will see who takes the final victory. But before we do that, a big shout out once again to our sponsors. Another one of our sponsors, AOC, the best viewing experience. AOC is a global leader in monitor display technology. For more than 50 years, AOC has delivered an exceptional viewing experience to millions of loyal customers worldwide. Today, the company offers a wide selection of stylish monitors for home, office, or gaming. And of course, Rig, what it takes to win. Rig develops headsets delivering superior audio for competitive gamers and streamers at all levels. Join the Rig team and enhance your gaming experience. And with that, let's get right into the map. I believe I can hear the bands going off.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs. AES deployed, ready to go.
Reloading! Fortification upgraded.
Seconds left.
We are now protected.
5 seconds left.
Shield deployed.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and
Please. You can worry less about grenades. We watch over us.
device activated.
Claymore mine deployed.
Trying to get through that. Keep us taken through. Deployed barrier.
Fall is done.
Attackers have located a bomb.
I won't make it easy for them.
Sequential breaching activated. Lights out.
Barrier placed. We're covered.
Attackers' bomb diffuser has been dropped. Bomb located by attackers.
Going dark. Hell engaged. We're protected.
Road spinning up.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
Nest in position.
Reloading. Cover me.
Loading new magazine.
Surge incoming.
Magnet online.
Incoming adrenaline boost.
Dart. Lay the nest.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Deploying ADS! ADS deployed and ready to go. You can stop worrying about grenades now!
Loading new mag.
Place device!
Seconds left.
Rolling razor blade.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Extra barrier activated.
Shield deployed.
Strike 2. Deployed barrier.
Swapping mag.
Single located.
Activating zone.
Protected.
Position device.
Zero hold. Protected.
Changing mags.
Time to ring some ears. Nest ready to knock out.
Bomb located by attackers.
Perimeter defense active.
Sending out Gemini. Reload. Gemini's offline.
Drawing magnet. Magnet online.
Loaded mag.
Loading new mag.
Frag grenade out.
seconds left. Attackers have located a bomb. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Healing station placed.
Kona station deployed. We're set. Kona positioned.
Seconds left before insertion. 5 seconds remaining. Attackers' objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
We are now protected. Online. March it out.
I'm reloading.
Reloading!
Madness will watch over us. Reload.
Swapping mags. Activating Commandant.
Attackers drop the diffuser.
Attila is on! Reload!
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
Breaking into that network. Activating override.
Boosting assist.
Monsters are defenses. Are you ready?
A bomb has been located.
Target detected. Basement. Passing smoke.
Let's get the drop on him.
15 seconds remaining. Bomb located by attackers. 5 seconds remaining. Attackers are activating the bomb diffuser.
Reload. Tag grenade out.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Fueling station placed. Station in position. Station deployed.
10 seconds to insertion. 5 seconds remaining. Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Throwing grenade. Take clear of AEST line of fire.
Attackers dropped the diffuser.
Loading back. Swapping back. Reloading.
That would be really cool.
I don't think I could hear it when I turned on the stream, to be honest.
Yeah, so we'll find out. But yeah, chains repel, typical repel spot, stops Alexa from running away, but won't be able to do enough damage. And with 3 players already taken out, this is repeating the tale of the tape. They repeat the site, they do well, and yeah, USYD just can't quite seem to be able to catch a break here as AUE Black always managing to adapt.
Oh, potential restart coming out from Falcon, so we'll just have to pause, which will be completely fine. And they're just gonna hide there. 4v4 situation. Are we just rehosting from that? I believe.
Yes, we are. Yes, the round's still going. They're just gonna sit there. Yeah, they're just gonna wait. They're just gonna wait it out here. 4v1. But yeah, very sporting of AUE Black to let them go for the rehost there. And I suppose in this situation there really isn't much you can do. But yeah, AUE Black will be happy with that moment either way. 2v2. You know, it's still a good round differential. And for those viewers who have just been tuning in, hello, we are back. I hope you could imagine what great commentary we brought in the first 3 rounds. But to sum it up, 4 rounds up, 2-2 apiece.
10 seconds
USYD
left.
Chess have won and lost an attack on the CCTV attack.
5 seconds left.
1-1 on the basement, and AE Black are about to win another on the basement as well. So we're pretty much tied up
Operators, you have
evenly,
run
and
out of
Falcon
time.
managing to make it back just in time.
So, are we going to be repeating?
Nope.
No.
The round goes on. Bad luck, USYD.
I mean, I guess it was already pretty much heavily favored towards Adelaide to win the round regardless.
Yes.
I guess
yeah.
they were just stalling it out.
Yeah, have a bit of a tack timeout, you know, pseudo tack timeout.
But now we're just going to be back onto the top floor once again. CCTV, cache site, and Azami being very strong on that rafters hold, which I'm really liking. Classic Smoke and Bandit, and they have a lot of utility denial with the both having Wamai
Defenders,
and the
protect your
Jaeger on
bombs from
board.
being defused by attackers.
I think this is a really strong comp so far as we're being demonstrated by Adelaide. Having rafters control is really important. So far, if you haven't had rafters control, you just couldn't safely push into site unless you had the body count or the advantage, of course. double, oh, bit of a potato pistol there, but Crimson does find it in the end. But as I was saying, they do have the double hard breach again, so they will be able to guarantee that Bandit is not going to be able to out-trick them. And Capital is going to be on instead of the Iana, so opting for less frag grenades in total. But that's alright to see. They need the smoke grenades and the firebolts to potentially flush out the Izami. So a lot of utility will have to be dedicated to get a successful push off.
Yeah, you mentioned the CCTV, sorry, the rafters being the crucial position here, and whoever controls that controls and ends up winning the round. That is an adaptation that I've thought about as well, and I thought that perhaps USYD could choose to adapt, and rather than pushing rafters directly, they could perhaps go for a back take and then simply smoke off that rafters position. Rafters, it's a very strong position. You do get that cross onto the doorway, but it's a little bit easier from the con doorway, smoking it off instead. So we'll see whether they choose to do that, but as you mentioned, yeah, double hard breacher coming out, really, really important here because it does stop the Bandit from being able to successfully trick with that wall gets opened up.
Oh, sort of a slightly successful trick there. Flash gonna be coming out, or is that a smoke grenade? But no, beautiful play here. The Whiskey just completely keeping them at bay. A lot of utility dump happening across that wall, just completely blind firing and everything. And so far, only the Ace could get a small hole open, but Aegis just gonna be plastering over that. Nothing ever happened to that wall. That's how builders do it these days. Got a bit of a gap, just fill it up, and it's good to go.
Yeah, most importantly, that wall denies entry for USYD chest, and they've used a lot of utility. I believe that's... how many Selma charges does he have left? I don't think he's got one Selma charge and no thermite grenades. So that's really, really dangerous. They may be able to open up this back wall, but that's about it. And yeah, it is really not looking good. And of course, you don't have much options now that you're forced to go through this vault hold on single.
Yeah, it's not too pretty. They're gonna dedicate everyone here because of course his army had blocked off the other side. Crimson gets a beautiful pick onto Biometric now. The Ace having dumped his utility at least, so it's not the worst loss to have so far. But they will have to make it work with 40 seconds left, but Smoke can easily time this out. He's still got one more canister left, so I believe can deny 5 to 8 seconds longer before this push can actually happen. Capital on suicide window gets picked off by Whiskey while he's retracting his crossbow, and USYD has dropped the diffusers to try and make this 1v3 clutch work, and it's just not enough as Notary shuts him down with the shotgun.
Well, we finally have a change in patterns here. AUE finally able to win 2 in a row, and for the first time here in this map, they will be a round up. Granted, this is a usually defender-sided map, but I think there were a number of mistakes USYD has made there on the attack, which really sealed that fate for them. And as you mentioned, the bandit trick early on was really, really important. It's an underlooked, undervalued trick perhaps, but Whiskey being able to keep that wall shut was so important. USYD also then not choosing to at least keep a player open, on the rappel there to deny any players rotating from the garage, rotating across that breach. Also meant that Whiskey and ultimately Aegis were able to come back and get those picks on the execute at the end. So yeah, really well played there from AUE Black, and it goes to show Whiskey, not only can he kill, he can also do the utility plays, he can get the charges down, keep those walls shut. Real MVP of the match so far, in my opinion.
Yeah, Whiskey, amazing job. I think Thatcher didn't quite double stack the MPs because the Ace charge is going to detonate a bit slower, so he does have the time to forfeit one set of opening, or one charge set, or 1/3 of the Ace charge to open while he takes out the thermite, of course, and then goes back to finish off the Ace charge. So yeah, Whiskey MVP so far on that bandit tricky wall. Maybe they just got just didn't quite see it coming, or just weren't expecting Whiskey to be that good of a bandit tricker.
barricades coming in now. A typical, very typical gym bedroom setup. You've got the Frost to deny the jump-ins. You've got the Bandit to do the tricking. You've got Wamai. And finally, the Rooney to really, really stop those grenades coming in. So really, really strong setup here from AUE Black. USYD Chess, though, will choose to push over starting from that... Well, I thought they were going to start from a cache side, but it seems like they're just opening on the wall and calling it a day there, just maybe drawing a little bit of attention. And that means, I suppose, that at least you'll force the cache players to remain where they are and divert some attention away.
Oh, playing it very close there by Metric, timing it really well. I was actually sort of scared for him that he might get shot when that first charge opened up fully. But beautiful positioning there, managed to perfectly time everything so that he does get a full body height open so that they don't have to crouch or vault through the door there. Alexa will be contesting the breach, playing from main stairs, so let's see if USYD will rotate any players over from behind them. But Falcon did get picked off somehow, and Whiskey is having a sort of a gunfight with Damp, but he does trade out in the end, and Aegis is going to get another one. But Shanks does trade out with him, but it's a 2v4 now, and Shanks is not looking too healthy as well as Whiskey. The fuse is still dropped in a safe to retrieve position, I believe, but they're going to have to play this quite safely now, as a lot of their options has been closed off. Docker being not able to give any further intel, losing Finker for the stins, of course. Oh no, Whiskey reading him perfectly, gets a nitro and a final pick.
Really well played there from Whiskey. Really did so much damage by himself, denying Damp, then Biometrics, then Shanks at the end. And I think it comes down to the fact that USYD Chester perhaps playing a little bit loosely. They don't seem to be close enough to get those refrags, and that certainly has been, you know, something that's compounded their losses here as they lose the opening picks and they just aren't able to get any advantage back. AUE Black, however, are just winning their gunfights. They're landing all their shots. They're getting all the utility right. Certainly, they're showing us why this is their map pick.
Yeah, I think a bit of an issue here was that USYD didn't quite take any map control. Usually you would have at least 1 to 2 people playing on cache side to at least make some noise there, because then defenders know they have to at least dedicate 1 or 2 people on that side as well. But since they only opened up with the ace charge and then they just walked off there, it made it difficult to really push in from that gym balcony, because they have to be careful of suicide window for the defenders, of course. And opening up Jacuzzi alone, just stacking on there, the defenders are in a much better position to respond, since they can dedicate more players or their whole attention onto that side.
Well, as we saw last time, 2-4 isn't the end of the world. In fact, last time it was 2-4 the other way. Once USYD Chess went on to their defense, things quickly turned around. So we may see the same story being played out here as well. It's not all over yet. We still have a whole half to see, but AUE Black have been looking pretty good, especially on their attacks. Very, very aggressive, and certainly have been carrying a lot of momentum.
Yep, and they are actually going to dedicate the Thermite alone to the hard breach situation. Oh no, you do not want to be losing your Azami that soon, because now she will not be in position to place down all her utility on rafters. And there are pre-placed there at least. A great play there. Damp instead is actually going to be using this strong angle. Shanks gets a shotgun kill onto one person pushing into the breach, I believe. With no bandit trick, of course, they did get the wall open really easily, and Chrism shuts down Damp on rafters, which is absolutely necessary to get on the site that easily, and they just flood onto site. Crimson coming out from behind. Biometric is stuck alone on top red. Let's get the cheeky pick onto the repeller on the breach, and Diffuser's dropped behind, but Crimson is smelling for this slow player. Biometric almost gets picked off. And it's just a bit of a dance here, 1v2 situation. So quick into the round, still plenty of time remaining. And I think really that they just really need to zone him out. Almost takes him out with the utility, so Biometric is stuck really, and Crimson walks up to him over the table and gets the final pick.
Now, again, a really aggressive entry there from AUE Black. They just opened the wall and just went straight in. And of course, the gunfights went all in their favor. Biometric, though, of course, I think he did a really good job. He managed to get the diffuser down in a fairly favorable position, and he did have to play a 1v2 with a shield to give him some backup. Fortunately, the information was just not sufficient, and of course, with that many players flooding onto you, it is very, very difficult, which means AUE Black extend another round lead. Maybe this map we won't see the same story played out last time. Maybe USYD aren't able to catch up. They're 3 rounds down, and they still need to find that in order just to even it out.
Yeah, they're not going to actually risk holding the upstairs, immediately opting for the basement hold. I think maybe they just need a good bandit trigger like Whiskey on their team, because having Whiskey there really stored out the attack prep or the breach phase for the attackers so often every time they were up there. So that kind of slowed the pace down a bit, which was always nice for the defenders. They don't want to get pressured so early, so easily. Very easy to get flustered or just get overrun early into the match. So now they're just going to opt to shake things up a bit. And Shanks on the Kaid will be able to get the wall. No, we'll be able to get the hatches, I mean. But Thatcher's on the board, so either he'll have to try and trick the wall or just let it get open.
Okay, yep, they're just going to rush into dirt. As soon as I saw them opening, I knew, okay, yeah, here we go. Finker right behind the Thermite, going for this wall. It will give away their position a little bit. Got a rush at least, and some shots coming out. We'll be able to spot the play playing close now, as Crimson actually swings. Surprising, he does get taken down out. Second almost, but Aegis will be able to consider that. Second down with the LMG. Can he find the third? No, Alexa will be the one who finds it. And he gets the plant down now, and it's a 1v4, and not even a minute is up yet.
And I guess Rush is just working out for AUE Black, and Azami or Admios gets finished off. That was absolutely terrifying. You normally don't expect such an aggressive play coming in through the tunnel area, in fact. But just fragging it out, Thermite taking the brunt of the bullets for the Finker to get in, get the picks. I guess just really nice refragging coming off from AUE Black, and USYD just really caught unawares, but probably expecting a more traditional style of getting the hatches prepped, trying to contest against with some roaming, and it was just not to their plan as AUE Black just shattered that perception.
Yeah, definitely. The crossfires being set up by AUE Black are really good. The refrags, as you mentioned, once one person dies, someone is there to get it back straight away. Whereas you said they're taking these 1v1 gunfights, and they don't seem to be in a position where they can assist each other or get the trades. AUE Black, though, are playing really, really well as a group, as a team, and that's something you really have to give them credit for.
Yeah, but it's just match point now, so the pressure is definitely on for USYD. I'm guessing that AUE Black surely won't try another tunnel rush again. Kapkan will probably stack a couple Kapkans on to prevent that from happening, of course. Gonna just get the reinforcements, and hopefully they will be able to answer to a more traditional clubhouse basement take. Some switches coming out, but still the same setup here from AUE Black, and late reinforcements coming out from Admios could be dangerous here if they're gonna go for a quick rush onto site. And this might actually happen again, but no, Thermite is not in position, of course, so they are going to go for the slow and methodical take instead.
Yeah, I do see it as well, the utility being... Oh, well, okay, Admios onto Whiskey. That's a great first pick. Whiskey has been doing so much damage, and taking off the frag grenades, all that information is definitely something you need. So, I think AUE Black will be forced to scale things back down as well. They figured, hey, USYD can actually play this really, really quick game as well. We do need to do our due diligence. Make sure there's no one riding around. Certainly, they're doing really well. The drones, look at that. Aegis falling right behind it.
but I'm not sure if there's actually anyone playing with Aegis. A drone is not the same, but no, correct. I am wrong there. Good play there. Zafir was right behind him. Shanks is ready to trick that church catch from opening as Admios is holding the main line of sight. But still, they haven't been panicking because they still have really everyone up that is going to be necessary to open everything up. They still got the Thermite, they've got the Thatcher, they still got nades from the Fink, of course, and the Finker boost to go with. Zafir for soft breach. So, oh no, opening pick there, coming out by the Zafir, just running down. Even though he had the initial line of sight, but Zafir just that much quicker. Is just got praying, making some noise for his teammates to open up the church hatch. And that is going to get blasted open so they can't drop down into the Arsenal site. And Shanks is just going to be there to respond to him. And this might be the execution that AEL, AUE is just so good at doing.
The Falcon falls as well. Alexa with another one, a second now, and Aegis just walks into blue. No one holding it, able to catch almost another player unawares. Will be Shanks, however, to find that kill onto that blue player. With Crimson on half health, Alexa now also on half health due to the Capcan mines. This could go dangerously, but with them in sight, no, it will be the shotgun. 2 for 1. And USYD live to fight another day.
Wow, absolutely amazing defense there. Shotgun not quite glitching out the same as it did last, so props to them. This and beautiful defense by USYD. AUE did have a good execution, I think, and Zafir playing really aggressively down there. It might have been better timed with the Thermite going off at the same time, so they can really all drop and maybe have that element of surprise. But good play from both teams, and USYD really needs that win. But still, it's match point for AUE, so it's still crunch time. And the pressure is still on for USYD to win the next 3 rounds.
Yeah, for the number of rounds that has been brought out by AUE, USYD have only been able to find 1, and this absolutely cannot happen again because, well, AUE Black are only a single round away from taking that 2-0 lead. USYD want to at least make it even, take it to 1-1, but so far, AUE Black really, really well played on the attack. They know how to apply that aggression, is one thing I would say. It's not a mindless rush per se. They get the drones, they have the trades, and they're applying it very, very precisely at the weak points of USYD's defense, and I think that is really well played.
And USYD not gonna be going for the Azami play, so Rafters won't be as easy to hold for the defender side. But you know, how else did pre-Azami holders hold Rafters? Well, they just did the traditional, have to be proned on the floor or crouched, getting ready for the pick, of course. So we're just gonna see that AUE is just going to take this methodically. No bandit trick, only the mute, so easily going to get the wall open for them. Whiskey is ready on suicide window for this breach to open and potentially just overrun them on site.
On suicide window, which is named suicide for a reason. Usually suicide is jumping into that. But it looks like a bit of a back take here coming in from that gym bedroom side. They have got the con single wall open as well. So they've got this side of the map controlled. And as we see, they're also opening up breach as well at the same time. And it's something that USYD Chest weren't able to do quite as well. They weren't able to pressure both of these sides at the same time. This makes it very, very challenging for USYD to move around. Falcon already locked in position. Aegis takes out Shanks as well. Another one quickly follows. Biometric, even though able to find one, can't find this one on suicide. And very soon, I'm afraid he's going to be the last one alive.
Yeah, but Falcon is just all the way off site now. He's gone down below, so he might be able to deny the default with a Nitro. But this is not looking too good. He's on no HP. The Nitro might kill him, but no, Alexa finishes him off from the raft stairs. Oh no, soft breach, reading it perfectly. Great read there at the end. 7-3 victory to AUE. Pretty convincing, I would say, for this map pick. But they did have to fight tooth and nail against USYD on Villa.
And that was definitely a very, very good textbook example of how to execute onto that CCTV site. So well played from from AUE Black, and certainly much more convincing. 8-7 on Villa and 7-3 on Clubhouse, which of course gives AUE Black 2-0. They get all the points here, and USYD unfortunately will be walking away with nothing. Thoughts apart from, well, AE Black played really, really well there.
Yeah, definitely. You can tell that this is their map pick after all. They were very confident. Their attacks were always really aggressive and catching USYD off guard, because USYD kind of like to have a nice slower pace, and they just weren't finding that on their defense round, just getting overrun. Multiple breaches and openings happening on that last round, and just replicated across with the rushes from tunnel, of course. I think it really hurt them a lot when they didn't have a bandit tricker to try and slow down the breach openings, to try and keep pace, as they say. But for USYD, they fought really hard, especially on the map pick for Villa, taking it to overtime against the 5th seed. Of course, I think something to be very proud of. They did their absolute best, and unfortunately, just didn't come to fruition. But I hope they continue with high spirits into their following rounds.
Yeah, and of course, all of these following rounds are only made possible because of our sponsors. And since we were muted the first time, let's do our sponsor reads again. Thank them again. AOC, the best viewing experience. AOC is a global leader in monitor display technology. For more than 50 years, AOC has delivered an exceptional viewing experience to millions of loyal customers worldwide. Today, the company offers a wide selection of stylish monitors for home, office, or gaming. And of course, we have RIG, what it takes to win. RIG develops headsets delivering superior audio for competitive gamers and streamers at all levels. Join the RIG team and enhance your gaming experience. Of course, we have our socials. Com, you want to tell everyone the socials for AEL?
Of course, if you want to find more about AEL and upcoming events or live streams, check out the AUE Sports League on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And of course, you can find us on Twitch at AEL Uni and AEL Uni #2.
Well, that's going to be it for us for tonight. I hope you have enjoyed the games as much as we have. We certainly have enjoyed casting and bringing these games to you. We will be back, of course, next week, same time, for another round of the R6 University League. But until then, this is Spud and Commandante, and we will see you next time.
Traveling for days with that light. Knowledge of privilege.